Happy Monday. Can you believe it's Monday again? I am just like, I'm so happy that this, month is going fast, but can't believe it's going to be February. And I'm waiting for some good weather. Going to Miami, leaving very, very early tomorrow. So, hi Denise. Who is all joining me this morning? Please announce yourself. Let me know where you are from. And let me know if you are an industry professional so that I know who I am talking to. I know some of you I see on here are professionals. It can be anything pertaining to the beauty industry, salon owner, salon manager. It can be a makeup artist, cosmetologist, esthetician, massage therapist, electrolysis, medical spa director, any of that. Hi, Dr. Marcel from Chicago. Thank you for safe travels. We will have safe travels. We're going to have fun. I'm going to see some of the girls on my on my video right now. So those of you joining, just keep on telling me who you are, where you're from, what's your background, if you're a professional or not, just so I know. For those of you that don't know me, I've actually been in the beauty industry going on 23 or 24 years. I lost count. And I have been a licensed cosmetologist all that time. I'm a former salon owner. I'm a soon-to-be global educator. I'm a national educator right now. And I have an immense passion for the industry. Because I've been around that long, I have seen it really change. It's really evolved, which everything does. But right now, we're going through this like major shift with everything. So I decided to do this series. So those of you that have been with me, the first video I did was all about diversion, which I was going to save till later, but it had to be done right away because that's just really a huge topic. It's a huge issue. It's just a big problem that we're having in the industry. So if you did not catch that video, be sure to catch it. I did upload it on my YouTube. I do have a blog post about it as well. Then the second video I did in the series was about channels of distribution and how that's changed and how products are getting to the end consumer, which ties in with diversion. Everything really ties into each other. And then last week I talked about booth rental or independent stylists versus employees. So hopefully you got some tips out of that and you understand what the difference is because I do see that a lot too. Hi Ashley, thanks for joining me from Illinois. Good to see you again. So today I'm going to talk about the Uberization of the beauty industry. So what do you guys think that means? Because we hear that Uberization word a lot more with other things as well. What exactly does that mean? Well, what I want you to think about is how people used to book appointments. Okay, so after decades of just the traditional way that people would like book ahead, or actually I had people book like 4 months in advance because I was so booked all of the time that's the only way that they could get in. But what I want you to think about is everything is quick and on demand now. You think of Uber, you can just grab your phone, bring up the app, call an Uber, and they're there within seconds sometimes, if not just minutes. You think of ordering things online. You can just click an order, and sometimes it comes the next day, it's already there. It comes quicker than you could even get to the store. Everybody wants things quick. They don't want to plan ahead. We just live in this society where they just want everything now. Even food, they want it delivered. You have Uber Eats. You have all these things that are on demand, even on-demand movies. You can just click and watch a movie, whereas before we had to go to Blockbuster. Well, you know what happened to Blockbuster, right? So those are the kind of things that I'm talking about when I say Uberization of the beauty industry. So what I want you guys to also think about is they want to be able to just pick up an app, hit a button, and get whatever beauty services they want done. And we're talking about all generations, mainly the younger generation. But even me, I'm getting middle-aged, you know. And I've been kind of in that mode too, where it's like I want to just pick up something and have it right away. So there are services that are disrupting the industry, and I'm going to say disrupting because if salons aren't evolving with this, they're really going to have some problems because they're growing at a rapid rate. So let's start with Dry Bar. So Dry Bar it was founded in 2008, and it's a hairstyling startup. Okay, so it started in California, but it quickly expanded to 70 locations across the country. There are 14 in Manhattan alone. So if you are in the New York City metro area, you've probably seen a Dry Bar, I'm assuming. So it is a blowout chain, and it began as a mobile blowout business. So it's like that Uber-like experience and they will come wherever you are. So if you're vacationing and you want, last minute, they'll just come right over. They actually rose to popularity because they had an affordable $40, now $45, so it did go up a little since they first started, blowout. And it spawned plenty of knockoffs. So, I'm mainly talking about Dry Bar right now, but there are other ones that you've probably seen as well. And they actually do also have, locations. So I said they will come to you, but they also opened up locations. So if you think that it's not like an issue, its revenue swiftly grew from $20 million in 2012 to $70 million in 2015, and it is currently on track to surpass $100 million this year. So maybe that'll wake you up a little bit if you're like, oh, well, we don't have a Dry Bar in my town yet. They're ready to expand. So I always say I like figures, I like numbers, I do the research. I hope I'm waking everybody up a little bit, especially if you own a salon, because you have to really know. You have to know what's going on in the industry to know if it's, to stay ahead of the curve, to evolve with it. So let's move on to Glam Squad. Has anyone ever heard of Glam Squad? Glam Squad was founded in 2014, and it's an app and a website for scheduling at-home hair and makeup services. So it's touted as the Uber of beauty, so Uberization, right? They offer $50 blowouts, $75 makeup applications, and $35 manicures. So salon comparable prices, right? But they don't have to leave their living room because the Glam Squad crew will come right to you. So according to Forbes, which I love Forbes, I love researching, I love their articles on Forbes, Glam Squad grew, it drew in roughly $8 million in sales in its first year and has raised $24 million in funding to date. And its services are in New York, LA, Miami, and Washington, D.C. So another one that's really growing really rapidly. That's not going anywhere. So this is a quote from one of the articles that I read. I don't think the solution is one size fits all, and the changes are affecting some parts of the country more than others, but salon owners need to pay attention to what's going on because, like I said, they will see them pop up if they haven't so far. Thing about Glam Squad stylists, they boast that they have over 700 beauty professionals, and they say that they tout themselves on expediency. So that's what the people are looking for that, are contacting Glam Squad and using their services. And so there's nothing that gives your time back. And that's one thing that people are busy. People don't want to take the time out to sit at a salon. They want like that quick service. Once in a while, of course, maybe they'll go to a spa, but they're like quick, they don't want to waste time. I swear, everybody's like, ooh, hustle, bustle, in and out. And So, like they said, the younger population is a very different consumer. Okay, so if you think of the experience, they do want that quick. So think about it, like even like boutique fitness chains, boutique facial spots. So the current model that we've had for, you know, a long time is changing. It feels outdated. It's not working. It's not working like it should. So Glam Squad's growth is colossal. It's going to keep on growing. They wouldn't disclose their finances, so I don't know what they are. You can't find them anywhere. But they are scheduled to, they're on track to hit about 250,000 appointments this year. So that's huge. So they said that this year, 2018, is the year for hyper growth. So they are on track to have hyper growth. So if you own a salon, is that going to affect you? If it's not right now, it probably will, because it's the Uberization of the beauty industry. So they're not just looking to expand location-wise. I know the Glam Squad one is a lot more than the Dry Bar, but it also plans to add even more services to their roster. So they're going to expand to mask treatments and later eyebrows and lashes. So they're going to just add that to their menu. And the second quarter of this year, they said that they're going to begin to test branded beauty products because that's an obvious direction for the business, because that's where the margins are the highest. So when I talked about diversion and distribution of products and how a lot of salons are just getting rid of them because they're frustrated with that, you know, type of deal that's been going on, that's not good to get rid of that. And there's ways, obviously, that you can evolve with that and not give up that revenue, which is what I love helping people with. They're also going to get into more traditional salon services like cuts and colors as well, which to me, I was like, wow, I wouldn't think that someone would want them to come to their house and color their hair, because that could get a little messy. But people, again, they want it quick. They want to have to leave. They want to pick up their phone, grab the app, say, yep, I want someone to come and do my hair color tonight, because we're all leaving for Miami, right? And they can do that. They don't have to plan ahead. So the other thing that I want to like kind of open your eyes to is stylists are also going to see that the salon industry is going to struggle with kind of that identity crisis, okay? So if Dry Bar is known for easy, flawless blowouts and Glam Squad is reliable for fast at-home services, what do hundreds of local salons have left to offer consumers? All right? A lot of salons, and this is actually, you know, if you think about it, a lot of them have become expensive, impersonal, inconvenient, and poorly branded. And I believe that that goes back to a lot of people that own salons were stylists or are stylists. They're not necessarily business-minded, or in their defense, there aren't a lot of classes that are really geared to teach them how to be a salon owner, how to run a business, how to manage people. They usually are just like, I just want to do hair. And so, you know, to their defense, there's just not a lot out there, which is something that I'm really changing as well, because again, if you're going to stay afloat and you do have a salon, those are things that are really important. Okay? So legacy salons are struggling while beauty startups keep raking it in. All right, but the salon industry is really lucrative, because if you look at it, it is valued at a whopping $43 billion. So it's $1 billion industry. But the traditional model hasn't changed that much, and I've talked about that in like every single video. So it needs to evolve. If all of these things are evolving, and that's why I'm doing this series and you know, talking each week about it, and you're not evolving, what do you think is going to happen? The other thing I want to point out is last week I talked about chair rental or independent beauty professionals versus employees. And right now, roughly 60% of hairstylists are freelance, which means they're independent or a booth rental. So, you know, booth rental stylists. So because the salons are notorious for being mismanaged or, you know, not run properly, a lot of hairstylists themselves are, you know, being left to pay for education, tools, because that's also a change over the years, and I've touched on that too, where manufacturers aren't giving the education they used to because they're going directly to the consumer, so they're bypassing the salon anyway, so why educate them, right? But meanwhile, Dry Bar and Glam Squads and other, you know, startups like that are continuing to grow and do better, you know, and they're evolving with technology, they're giving their stylists the education, they're continually investing in that because they have the capital to do that. So they also offer stylists the ability to freelance as much as they want. So don't you think it would make sense that that's also going to affect team retention in an employee-based salon, or even in a chair rental type situation? Because it's easy for them to just be like, well, I'm just going to freelance for Glam Squad, and you know what, I'm kind of doing my own thing, but yet they're giving me all of this traffic and all of these new clients. It's really easy for them. So that's going to be something that's going to be disruptive as well, if not already. And one of the articles that I read was actually about an employee that worked for Frederick Fekkai Salon in Manhattan, and she said that a lot of the salons are just closing down, like these big name salons that have been there and have been doing really well, you know, because they're just Dry Bar and Glam Squad are just taking over. So it's not just the smaller salons too, it's the bigger salons. And some salon owners are like, I just can't even compete with it, I'm just going to give up and, you know, throw the towel in. But again, if you keep evolving with it, then you can really capitalize from, you know, the changes. So adjustments will need to be made, you know, like I said. So think about, like, focus on experience, but also like think about things that you could start to offer, those like quickie services. Like we would, I always like to give examples of what we did, but, and you know, all the things that we did, people were like, oh, why are you doing that? We were always looking to have like other streams of revenue coming in because it's just more capital to obviously pay the bills, right? Because I've talked about how so many salons are struggling. So think about lunch hour facials, express manicures. Think about, we would even do, you know, some protein things for them, because if they're coming on lunch and they're not, or if they're skipping lunch, or if they're coming right after work, we had a beauty bar where we could mix them up, nutritious things, and we had nutraceuticals there. So, you know, we didn't do the whole IV, you know, B vitamins. We just had them do our beauty bar, and that gave them energy. Gosh, I could go on and on and on, and that's going to be a whole nother topic. So what I want to again leave you with, and this is not just all like doom and gloom, it's more of me just kind of waking people up, because so many salons that I talk to, it's just like they're sort of like stuck. They're like, okay, I know that I need to like have more clients coming through the door, because, you know, I'm really not making ends meet. Well, you can only be behind the chair or in front of the chair if you're a makeup artist for so many hours. You can only do so many services, right? But so what are some of the creative ways that you can have the other streams of revenue? Okay, so salon industry, it's not the death of the salon industry, evolution of the industry. You know, maybe you're going to start offering blowouts. Maybe you're going to try to compete with those prices, but in an employee type situation, that's again hard, especially if you're paying commission to pay on that amount, okay? So not going anywhere. The other thing, that there are apps out there, there's people that develop apps. You know, maybe you can have someone develop an app for your salon, but then the other thing is you have to have the staff there to also accommodate those people as well. So, you know, it's kind of that vicious circle when it comes to that as well. So I was going to talk about today the deregulation of the beauty industry. It's Monday, and I always like stumble on my words because I'm like have so much to say, but I can't spit it out. And because it really does kind of go, it ties in with what I'm talking about today. but I always try to get so much in these videos, and then I end up talking for like 40 minutes. So I want to cover that next week, because a lot of companies want to deregulate it so that these people don't have to go to school to learn how to do hair, and they can just work for these companies and just blow dry hair or do manicures. I live in the state of Wisconsin, and we just had a huge bill get passed. In fact, I couldn't even believe it got passed. I guess I just really was like, nope, that's never going to go through, and it did. And so they changed a lot of things in Wisconsin, and each state is different when it comes to licensing and that kind of thing. So I'm going to cover some things that are going on next week. But what I want to leave you guys with is there are things you can do, but you also have to think outside the box a little bit. And that's one of the things that I do for people is I will talk to them and find out, what do you have going on currently? What are some of the ideas you've had? And then come up with a whole proposal on solutions that they could start implementing. And this has to do with a lot of different things. And it's different for each account that I work with, because they all have, a different situation going on. And so it's all customized to help them. And it's pretty cool because, I talk about in the past, a lot of companies, they just had these reps coming in, these product reps, and they just really focused on selling their retail. And what I do is totally different, because I'm more of a consultant, a business consultant. And, let's look at what you have going on, and I have the experience. And the whole reason that all came about is people kept coming to me because they're like, what are you guys doing in your salon? Everybody's talking about it. I can tell you're doing something different. Can you help me? And I did. I started helping others, and I thought, why not put this into a system that I could reach just so many more people and really help so many other people with what we have going on, which is what we're doing. And so it is changing the industry. It's going to, those that utilize it are going to be happy they are. And those that are still kind of like dragging their feet, they're going to be sorry when, things are too far. So if anybody wants to know about that, just message me, or you can just Google my name. You can go through my websites. You can, send me smoke signals. I'll probably see them, but there's a lot of ways to get a hold of me, and just set up a consultation, and we'll see, what we can do for you. There's always something I can do. Some accounts, there's a lot we can do, and it's all based on bringing in more revenue, because at the end of the day, that's what we need. And we as stylists, we work our tails off. We're like one of the hardest working group of individuals that I've ever experienced. So make sure to join me next week, and I will talk about the deregulation of the beauty industry, and I will see a bunch of you in Miami where it's nice and sunny and warm. And otherwise, if not, I will see you next week. Bye. Thank you.